Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's discussion, where we will explore a topic that can significantly impact your well-being. Let me begin by posing a question. Have you ever experienced the sensation of life feeling overwhelmingly burdensome, as if you are shouldering a heavy load filled with past regrets, draining relationships, and lingering resentments? You are not alone in this experience. As we progress through life, it often accumulates various challenges. While we gain wisdom with age, we sometimes overlook the crucial act of releasing these burdens. Remember this essential truth as we continue: your peace is invaluable and deserves to be safeguarded. Today, we will explore 3 habits that you should consider releasing in order to achieve a more peaceful and fulfilling life. These habits may have lingered for years, subtly diminishing your happiness. However, it's important to remember that it's never too late to let them go. I invite you to visualize this. Imagine yourself strolling through a beautiful garden, where the air is crisp and the flowers are vibrant. Yet, there's a heavy suitcase you've been pulling along, filled with past mistakes, lingering grudges, and relationships that no longer benefit you. Can you see it? Recognize the burden you carry. The encouraging truth is that you can release it. Not in the future, but right now. In this video, we will examine 3 key areas where we tend to cling too firmly: regrets that anchor us to the past, relationships that fail to bring us happiness, and resentments that harm our well-being. Most importantly, we will discuss effective strategies for letting go. I will provide you with actionable steps to help you restore your joy, energy, and, most importantly, your peace. Remember, peace is not merely something you stumble upon, it is something you cultivate. So, I encourage you to engage fully with this content. Let it not be just another video that fades from memory. Instead, let this be the pivotal moment when you choose to transform the next chapter of your life into one characterized by lightness, happiness, and freedom. By the conclusion of our journey together, I assure you that you will feel more in command of your emotions, more attuned to what truly matters, and more at peace with the life you are leading. Your journey commences at this very moment, so let us proceed without delay. Let us discuss the initial habit you must relinquish: regrets. Regrets can manifest as an unseen restraint, preventing you from embracing life to its fullest. You understand the type I mean: choices you wish you had approached differently. Unspoken words and moments you believe were squandered often have a tendency to surface when you least anticipate them. Contemplating possibilities and reflecting on the past is natural, but let me pose an important question: is it possible to alter what has already occurred? The answer is no, none of us possess that ability. However, what you can do is choose how to manage those experiences. Regrets need not burden you, rather, they can transform into valuable lessons that guide your future. Signposts indicate your growth. Every regret, regardless of its pain, serves as evidence of your existence, your efforts, and your concern. Reflect on this. Did you make the best decision possible at that moment with the knowledge you had? If the answer is affirmative, then perhaps it is time to extend yourself some compassion. Envision this moment: you find yourself before a substantial suitcase. Within this suitcase lies the weight of all your regrets. Perhaps it is the career you chose not to follow, the friendship that has diminished over time, or the unresolved conflict with a loved one that lingers in your mind. You have been burdened by this emotional baggage for years, haven't you? However, it is important to recognize that you no longer need to bear this weight. Take a deep breath, envision placing it down, and sense the relief as it lifts from your shoulders. This is the liberation that comes with releasing what no longer serves you. So, how can you begin the process of letting go of these regrets? While it may present challenges, it is indeed achievable. Here are 3 practical approaches. Step 1: acknowledge your regrets. The initial action is to confront them directly. Take a moment to reflect on your thoughts and acknowledge that while these experiences occurred and caused pain, they no longer hold sway over you. If necessary, document these feelings on paper. This clarity can help diminish their influence. The next step is to extract lessons from these experiences. Each regret holds a valuable lesson. Perhaps it has illuminated the significance of mindfulness, enhanced your communication skills, or even guided you towards personal growth. Value your current circumstances and reflect on the lessons this experience has imparted. Transforming discomfort into insight involves a crucial step: concentrating on the present. Regret is anchored in what has already occurred, while joy flourishes in the current moment. Consider what actions you can take today to infuse your life with significance and happiness. Perhaps it's rekindling a friendship, embarking on a long-desired hobby, or simply pausing to acknowledge the life you've cultivated. Hold on to this essential truth: your past does not define who you are. It is merely a chapter in your narrative, not the entirety of your story. The most remarkable chapters are those yet to be penned. Keep in mind that perfection is an illusion. We all encounter setbacks and make errors. However, these experiences do not determine our essence. What truly shapes us is our resolve to progress. Let this serve as your guiding reminder. Today marks a fresh start. There remains an abundance within you to share, to feel, and to encounter. Do not allow past regrets to deprive you of the joy and beauty that the present holds. You are worthy of living with a light heart and a clear mind. Release the burdens of regret that hold you back and embrace the liberation that forgiveness brings, both for others and for yourself. Repeat after me: I am not defined by my errors. I am defined by the resilience I demonstrate as I progress. Wishing you a tranquil journey ahead. Commence by releasing and allowing room for something wonderful. It is time to progress to the next phase in cultivating a more uplifting and joyful existence. Now, let us proceed to the second step. It is essential to recognize the importance of letting go of relationships that no longer contribute positively to your life. As we progress through different stages, life often reveals what truly holds significance. Yet, we may find ourselves clinging to certain connections, not out of genuine affection, but due to habit, guilt, or the fear of solitude. Consider this: have you ever spent time with someone only to leave feeling drained or overlooked? Perhaps it's that longtime friend who reaches out solely to vent, or a family member whose remarks sting more than they should. These connections, while not overtly harmful, can quietly deplete your energy, leaving you feeling diminished. It's important to acknowledge that not every relationship is intended to endure indefinitely, and that is perfectly acceptable. Some individuals enter our lives to impart lessons or share specific moments, but as circumstances evolve, so too should our relationships. Clinging to a burdensome connection is akin to carrying a heavy load that hinders your progress. Every adverse interaction contributes to a burden that hinders your well-being. Life is not intended to be experienced in such a manner. It is too brief to be invested in connections that diminish your sense of self. Therefore, how can one release these ties? Here are 3 effective steps to assist you in managing this process. Begin by contemplating the dynamics of your relationships, focusing on the elements of grace and self-respect. Consider for a moment the individuals in your life who elevate your spirits, who bring you happiness, and who make you feel acknowledged and appreciated. Conversely, reflect on those who leave you feeling burdened, who deplete your energy, or who cause you to doubt your value. Consider creating a mental inventory or documenting it in writing. Understanding is essential. Once you recognize the reality of these relationships, you will be prepared to proceed. The next step is to begin modestly by establishing healthy boundaries. Letting go does not necessarily entail completely removing someone from your life. Often, it begins with establishing boundaries and reducing the time spent with individuals who deplete your energy. It is essential to keep in mind establishing boundaries is not a form of cruelty. Rather, it is a necessary practice of self-care for relationships that no longer benefit you. It is perfectly acceptable to take a step back, and you are not obligated to explain or justify your choices. It is essential to recognize that you are prioritizing your well-being. Focus on nurturing the relationships that truly matter. By releasing connections that drain your energy, you create an opportunity to cultivate those that genuinely bring you joy. Dedicate your time and energy to individuals who appreciate, respect, and celebrate you for who you are. Envision your relationships as a garden. Some individuals are like flowers, adding beauty and vitality to your life, while others may act as weeds, sapping energy from what has the potential to thrive. If you neglect to remove these weeds, your garden may become overrun. However, with careful attention, it can flourish. Understand that this process may be challenging. Feelings of guilt, hesitation, or selfishness may arise. Remember, you are not obligated to bear the emotional burdens of others at the cost of your own well-being. Consider engaging in a visualization exercise. Envision a space where individuals surround you. Some radiate warmth and positivity, akin to sunlight on your skin, while others create an atmosphere of heaviness, leaving you feeling diminutive and overlooked. Now, picture yourself gracefully distancing from those who cast shadows, moving toward the brightness of those who uplift you, bringing joy and tranquility into your life. This is the existence you are entitled to embrace. Remember, your time and energy hold great value. You have dedicated years to giving parts of yourself to others. Isn't it time to prioritize your own well-being? Life is not measured by the quantity of people around you, but by the quality of the connections you cultivate. Choose wisely. Carefully select relationships that invigorate you rather than deplete your energy. Release what no longer benefits you, and you will discover your days becoming brighter, your heart more liberated, and your life more abundant. You are worthy of a community that uplifts you instead of burdening you. Take this step for your own well-being, for by making room for meaningful connections, you are not merely enhancing your life, you are laying the groundwork for a serene and enriching journey ahead. Now, let us address the final habit to release, which may be the most challenging yet profoundly transformative: resentment. Now, let's discuss the third habit that could be hindering your progress. Bitterness. Resentment is a subtle intruder. It does not announce its presence or make itself apparent. Instead, it quietly infiltrates your heart, robbing you of your peace, joy, and even your well-being. You may find yourself harboring resentment towards someone who has caused you pain, perhaps an old friend, a family member, or a partner. Alternatively, it could be directed inward, aimed at yourself. You might believe that clinging to resentment serves as a form of protection, a shield against future hurt. However, the reality is that resentment does not safeguard you, it only serves to poison your spirit. Resentment resembles grasping a searing coal in your hand, anticipating the moment to hurl it at the individual who has wronged you. However, the longer you cling to it, the more it inflicts pain upon you as you dwell on the matter. The individual who caused you distress has likely moved forward, while you remain burdened by their actions, allowing them to occupy space in your heart and mind. However, it is within your power to release this weight. It is essential to understand that letting go does not equate to condoning the past or dismissing the pain inflicted upon you. Instead, it is a journey towards reclaiming your emotional well-being and asserting that the individual who harmed you no longer dictates your feelings. To begin the process of releasing resentment, start with the first step: acknowledge the pain. You cannot move forward if you are in denial about its existence. Take a moment to acknowledge your emotions. Affirm to yourself that this experience occurred and that it caused you pain, but recognize that it no longer holds power over you. If it aids you, consider documenting your feelings. Articulating your pain can often provide clarity and initiate the healing journey. Step 2 involves the decision to forgive. Understand that forgiveness is not merely a singular act, it is a conscious choice you commit to repeatedly, each day. This choice is ultimately for your own well-being, not for the individual who caused you pain. Begin with small affirmations, such as telling yourself, "I am prepared to release this." You may not feel entirely ready, but establishing this intention marks the initial phase of your healing journey. Step 3 follows. Reframe the narrative. Rather than perceiving the hurt as a scar, consider it as evidence of your resilience. Whatever transpired, you emerged from it stronger. Your resilience is commendable, and it is essential to recognize that every challenging experience can impart valuable lessons. Reflect on what insights you have gained about others, about life, and most importantly, about yourself. Consider the question, what have I learned from this, and in what ways has it contributed to my strength? A visualization activity: close your eyes and envision grasping a substantial suitcase. Within it lies all the grudges, anger, and pain you have been burdened with for years. Now, visualize yourself placing that suitcase down. Imagine the sensation of walking away, feeling lighter and unencumbered. Open your heart to welcome joy and peace, allowing self-forgiveness to flourish. It is essential to address the concept of releasing resentment, particularly regarding the often challenging task of forgiving oneself. Frequently, we find ourselves as our own most severe critics, revisiting our past errors and berating ourselves with thoughts like, "I should have done better," or "I shouldn't have said that." However, it is crucial to recognize that you acted to the best of your ability with the knowledge you possessed at that moment. Being human inherently involves imperfection. Therefore, isn't it time to release the guilt and cease the self-punishment for circumstances beyond your control? Keep in mind that forgiveness does not erase the past, rather, it has the power to reshape your future. It creates an opportunity for joy, love, and laughter to re-enter your life. By letting go of resentment, you are not absolving the other individual. Instead, you are liberating yourself from the burden of that resentment. As you embark on this journey towards reclaiming your happiness, affirm with me, "I choose peace, I choose joy, I choose freedom." Today marks a fresh start. Life is far too valuable to be burdened by the past. You are entitled to feel light, joyful, and liberated. Release any resentment, extend forgiveness to others and to yourself, and step into a more radiant and tranquil tomorrow. Now, let us consolidate our insights and explore how releasing these 3 habits can profoundly alter your life. As we approach the conclusion of this exploration, take a moment to contemplate all that we have discovered. You have gained insight into 3 habits that subtly weigh you down: regrets, draining relationships, and resentment. These are not merely habits, they are encumbrances that keep you anchored in the past, depriving you of the joy and serenity that are available to you in this very moment. However, here lies the empowering truth: you possess the ability to release them. Envision how your life might transform in the absence of these burdens: a life where you awaken feeling more buoyant, liberated from uncertainties. Envision a life where your connections bring you joy and fulfillment rather than fatigue, a life where your heart is unburdened by resentment, prepared to embrace love and laughter. Today presents an opportunity for transformation, a moment to release the burdens of the past. It is the time to embrace a life unencumbered by regrets, to cultivate a mindset centered on the present, and to foster connections that genuinely enrich your spirit. Repeat this affirmation with me one final time. I select tranquility, I select happiness, I select liberation. Imagine yourself positioned at the threshold of a stunning garden, where the sun gently warms your face and the atmosphere brims with potential. Behind you lie the burdensome suitcases of regret, unhealthy relationships, and resentment. Before you stretches a pathway illuminated by light. Hope and new beginnings mark the continuation of your journey. If this message resonates with you, please take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments. What are you letting go of today? Let's inspire one another. Don't forget to subscribe to join me for more content aimed at helping you live a lighter, brighter, and more peaceful life. Your journey towards peace has already begun. Keep moving forward. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, prioritize your well-being, treat yourself with compassion, and keep in mind that you are worthy of tranquility at all times.